Hey, this is Jordan with Team J's Classroom Fun, and welcome back to my YouTube page. Be sure to like, subscribe, follow, and click the bell so you don't miss out on any future content. As we know, as we're heading into April and May, test prep season is ahead of us. And I know as teachers, it's not really our favorite season of teaching. I know for the students, it's not really their favorite, season of studenting, but it is what it is. So today what I do have for you is 5 different tips for how to make test prep or make testing season a teensy bit easier. So one of the things I recommend doing is setting up your room ahead of time. I know oftentimes when we do test prep, we have to have like posters covered, things taken down, any kind of charts that could be helpful out of the way or covered up, right? So, or even too, like I know I keep my students typically grouped together. Oftentimes for testing, you have to have them in rows or set up differently. I recommend you changing the seats and changing the room up a few days in advance. Whenever you make those kinds of changes, the kids are all gonna freak out, right? They're like, oh my gosh, the room looks different, it's so different. Well, we need them to be focused on the test, not focused on how different the room looks. So if you can do that a little bit ahead of time, it gives the kids a chance to get used to it and kind of get that novelty out of the way so that when the testing does start, they can focus on that. Next thing, as I said, I know many of you have to take everything down. I've done that before as well. In place though, you could put some positive messages. I know one of the schools I was at, teachers would often take chart paper or butcher paper and just write inspirational messages, inspirational quotes to just kind of not make the room look so sad and dreary, but also motivate and inspire the kids. Next thing, try to have a healthy snack available. Now, I know this is different everywhere. Some of the places I was at, the PTO or PTA, would provide some sort of snack to the students. If that's an option, that's great. If not, maybe you have a room parent that could help with that. Maybe just remind the kids to bring a healthy snack. But the more they have like healthy, nutritious meals, that will help them with their testing as well. Fourth thing, as much as possible, try to provide movement breaks before testing and after testing. We know the testing process is long. We know these kids are sitting for a long period of time. We also know it's not great for kids to be sitting for long periods of time, but it is what it is. So doing a brain break, taking a little walk, going outside, especially like when testing's done, going outside and running a lap or two, something to kind of get them up and moving can be helpful. And I do recommend trying to do one before testing. You obviously don't want to do something that gets them too rambunctious, but just something to get them kind of moving, blood flowing, pumping, all that stuff. Okay, last but not least, the last suggestion I have for you is provide them with a little something. So I know sometimes teachers have given them, obviously we need to use the certain number 2 pencils or whatever specific pencil is required for your testing, if it's a paper pencil test, which I'm well aware many of them now are not, but just writing a motivational message on there. Or maybe a little treat for testing where you have a little motivational, you can do it or try your best or whatever it may be, some kind of message on there. Even if their test is on computer, I know oftentimes they have a time where they can, like for the math portion, maybe show work, so they'll need pencils for that. So you could just write little messages and Sharpies on the pencils. A little like motivational message can sometimes go a long way. So I hope you found those test prep tips helpful. I know testing season, like I said, is a doozy, but you got this, the kids have this, and then we can move on to the rest of the year. Talk to you later.